Good afternoon, cricket lovers of the Bay Area and the United States. Welcome to Minor League Cricket 2025. We are streaming live from Morgan Hill, Northern California. It is a toasty, warm Labor Day Monday afternoon here. This ground has witnessed quite a few cricket games over the last couple of days. Today, it is time for Silicon Valley Strikers v San Diego Surf Riders. Strikers have played 3 games in this competition so far. They've won 2, lost 1. The Surf Riders have played 4. They played 1 game here a couple of days back. Their current standings, 1 win, 3 defeats. They are looking for their 2nd win today. Just moments ago, Silicon Valley Strikers won the toss and chose to bat first. Let's take a look at the playing 11 for Strikers. Up top, Shivam Mishra and Amog Arepalli, the openers. Shehan Jayasuriya at number 3, Pranay Suri at number 4. Kamran Hotak, the left-handed all-rounder, in at number 5. Skipper Ray Reefer at number 6. Naman Patil, Gary Graham bringing up the lower middle order. Tarun Adada at 9. Saurabh Netrwalkar at 10. And Yusuf Zazai at 11, the quicks. For the Surf Riders, Abhinay Reddy Vanipalli and Vijay Ram Nandula, top of the order. Abhayender Singh, number 3. Snell Patel, number 4. Skanda Rohit Sharma, the skipper, at number 5. Shehan Fernando at 6. Rahim Mangal, 7. Sabrish Prasad, Kunj Bhagat at 8 and 9. And Supranj Kumar, the young quick, at 10. And Javed Zadran at number 11. The players are ready in the middle. The umpires Sundaram Subramanian and Abhishek Singh are taking position as we speak. We are seconds away from the first ball of this contest. Amog Arepalli and Adada are the opening batters for Strikers. Supranj bowling from the far end is just limbering up. Right arm over to the right-handed opener. That was more of a warm-up delivery. The Strikers have a pretty strong record at this ground. This is their home. They played 3 games in this tournament and 1 prior, and they have a record of 3-1 so far. Cautious poke by the batter. Defeats the outside edge and goes to the keeper. Good start by Supranj Kumar. Defended into the cover point region for a dot. Nice tight line by the bowler. Supranj is operating with a 5-4 field at the moment. The only men deep are a fine leg and a deep square leg. Pulled away by the batter towards mid-on. They have enough time to scramble a single. Arepalli is off the mark. Strikers on the board with that single. Supranj Kumar has played a couple of games so far in this tournament. He picked up 1 for 38 in the opener against East Bay Blazers. He got rid of Sanjay Krishnamurthy with a puller. In the game against Grizzlies yesterday, he snared 3 for 22. So he has some momentum to bring forward into this game. the left-handed Tarun Adara to face up for the first time this game. Pushed into the covers for a dot. Again, tight line from the bowler. Adada's got 11 runs in this tournament so far, 10 not out and a 1. Guided with an open face towards third man for a single. Adada is off the mark with that. Third man was in place for that stroke. The right-handed Arepalli back on strike. Watchfully defended into the covers for a dot. A very, very tidy start by Supranj Kumar. Just a couple of runs off the first over. Strikers 2 for none after 1. Zadran about to bowl from the near end. Right arm over to the left-handed Arada. Worked away off the pads towards fine leg for a single. Arepalli's had some time in the middle over the last 3 games. He scored 2 of 8 in the first game against Grizzlies and 28 at run-up ball against Lashings. Edge towards the keeper for a dot. A lot of chirps of encouragement for Javed Zadran from the dugout. Arepalli was pretty quick off the blocks in the game against the Blazers yesterday. 19 of just 7 balls, a 4 and a couple of 6s, striking at a mighty 271. Down the leg side, wide says the umpire. That is the first extra of today's contest. Worked away off the pads. This time it's in the gap between the short square leg and a short mid wicket. A long chase for the square leg fieldsman. They have time to return for the third run. That is the first 3 of the game. Decent throw in from the deep. Zadran's under 21 quick from Afghanistan. He bagged 6 wickets in the 2024 season, averaging roughly 11 runs per wicket with an economy of 5.9. Pushed back towards the bowler by Arara. Dot ball. This time worked straight down the ground towards mid-off for a quick single. A tumbling stop by the mid-off fieldsman. Defended towards point, sliding stop by the point fieldsman. There's a little bit of a bobble which allows the batters to quickly scurry for a single. That is the end of a 7-run over including a wide. Strikers 9 for none after 2 overs. Suparansh Kumar about to bowl a second over from the far end to the right-handed Arepalli. Attempted pull shot by Arepalli. Seemed to have hit his pad. Dot ball. Suparansh has been steady so far. A straightish line around about off stump for the most part. Watchfully defended towards the cover point region for another dot. It's been a watchful start by both openers, partly because the bowling's been tight. Suparansh especially has kept it pretty straight. Suparansh now has a man in the deep straight down the ground. A long on in place to complement the fine leg. This time a booming drive, it finds the edge, it flies into the gap between point and short third man, goes for the first boundary of the innings. You could say moral victory for the bowler, but the batsman won't care. That is the first boundary of the afternoon. Strikers move to 13 for none halfway through the third over. Let's take a look at the replay here. Slightly fullish offering, but not quite full enough. Arepalli searching for a big booming drive through the covers, possibly finding the edge. Flashed again through the point region, but this time straight to the man in the ring. It is a dot ball this time. Attempted pull shot again. This time he hits it towards the deep region around about mid-wicket and square leg. A single to Arepalli. One consistent feature across the games this weekend has been this extremely strong breeze blowing across the ground. That is an attempted slice by the batter towards the point region, no contact. A dot ball to finish Supranch's tight over. 5 runs off the third over, strikers 14 for none after 3. Javed Zadran back in operation from the near end for his second over. Except for that one flashed boundary towards third man, so far it's been a circumspect start by both batters. Zadran bowling with a 5-4 field to Arepa. Driven off the front foot, full face of the bat. Good looking cover drive, rewarded the boundary. That is the first authoritative boundary of the innings. Arepalli got a boundary in the last over, but that was more edge than middle this time though. A beautiful looking stroke. Let's take a look at the replay. That is bowled around about 4th stump. Arepalli striding forward and offering the full face and placing it in between the cover fieldsmen. Another cover drive, this time slightly squarer. There's a man at deep point to clean this one up. It's only a single. Arepalli's shown a strong preference for these drives through cover or square of the wicket on the offside so far, especially in the last couple of overs. Pushed back towards the border by Adada. Dot ball. Javad's got a deep fine leg and a deep square leg in place with the left-handed Arada. No slips in place for the batter at the moment. Worked away off the pads again by Aradas in similar fashion to the previous over from Zadran. This time a single to do it, deep square leg. Foolish again, the cover drive. Deep point runs to his left. Can he keep it inside? Nope. Amog Arepalli continues to pilfer the square region, the offside. That is his third boundary in the last couple of overs. His second boundary this over. Earlier in this over, he hit a drive through covers. This time, opening the face of the bat, challenging deep point. The length is foolish to invite that stroke, and the placement was on point, piercing the infield and beating the man at deep point. Ten runs of this over so far with the ball to go. Zadran runs into Arepalli. Driven straight down the ground this time, mid-off fields, has a shot, non-strikers in, not out, the batters are in safe. That is the end of a constructive over for strikers. 11 runs off it, courtesy of those two boundaries by Arepalli. End of 4 overs, strikers 25 for none. It is 3 on the trot for Supranch from the far end. Still in search of his first wicket so far. He's been bowling straight all of his 2 overs. A little on the shorter side. A pull shot towards the short square leg for a single. The batters seem to have been hurried just a tad bit by that delivery. Steered towards point by Arara. The bowler runs after it, but the batters have enough time to complete a single. Good awareness by both batters. There's plenty of yellow jerseys in the infield on the offside, but that was dropped towards cover point at soft hands by the left-handed Arara, which allowed the batters to complete a single comfortably in the end. Arepalli found boundaries of both of the last couple of overs. What can he do against Supranch right now in this over? Driven at the full face of the bat, but this time straight to the man at cover at the ring at dot ball. Supranch Kumar has been pretty diligent with his lines so far. He's kept it straight more often than not. Flashed through the offside square region again. This time, deep point runs back in vain. Point, I must add. Point runs back in vain. Fourth four for Arepalli in quick succession. Pushed towards mid-off, the batter is going for a quick single. Big shy at the non-striker's end. No cigar. Arepalli moves to 25 of 20 with that single. A huge majority of his runs have come through the offside, primarily with the square-driven boundaries and one cover-driven boundary. Tarun Sai Adada has been the more studious of the two partners, 5 of 9 so far. Bold shorter, finds the edge. Shot third man makes a half stop. The batter is complete a single. That is the end of a pacey fifth over. Suprinch has figures of none for 14 after 3 as strikers move to 33 for none after 5. The afternoon, bowling right arm around the wicket to the left hand. Oh, appeal for caught behind. That is more of a polite enquiry. Nope, says the umpire. That is a tentative defensive shot by Adada. Manipali has figures of 6 for 106 runs of his 12 overs in this competition so far. Economy around 8.8. Banged end shot. Adada obliges by a fierce pull shot. Is that 4 or 6? The umpires confer it is 6. First 6 of the game. First boundary for Adada. Vanipalli exploring the middle section of the pitch with that short ball. Adada promptly going back and pulling that with panache. Lots of applause from the strikers dugout to that powerfully struck boundary. That wasn't quick enough to hurry the batter up, so he had all the time in the world to go back and just pulverize a full-bladed pull shot. This time slapped through the covers by Arada, a pretty confident shot. Sweeper runs to his right and makes a tumbling stop. Batters come back for a couple of runs. There's a possibility of an overthrow, but there is backup. This time worked away off the pads. Short fine leg runs back. Deep square leg runs to his left and cuts it off. The batters come back for a couple of runs. Adadas found a fair bit of momentum in this over. 6-2 and 2. Lots of encouragement for Tarun from the striker's dugout. He's moved to 16 of 14 just like that with those 3 strokes of the last 3 balls. Can Vanipalli bowl a little fuller and straighter and ask some questions of the batter? Cautiously defended towards the covers. The fielders scamper as the batters complete a comfortable single. 11 runs of the overs so far with the ball to go. This is the last delivery of the power play. Vanipalli is fresh off a couple of 2-fors in his last 2 games. Against the Grizzlies and the Thunderbolts, he bagged figures of 2 for 26 and 2 for 28. The Surf Riders would hope he could replicate that wicket-taking form in this contest. Arepalli is looking set and dangerous, 25 of 20. Can Vanipalli surprise Arepalli? Floated fuller, worked off the pads. There is a man running to his left from deep mid-wicket. The batters settle for a single. That is the end of the power play. 12 runs of Vanipalli's first over. Striker is sitting pretty, 45 for none in fact after 6 overs. More bowling changes underway for Surf Riders as we see spin for the first time this afternoon in the form of the left-handed conventional spinner Kunj bowling from the far end. We've seen a lot of spin from the near end over the last few days. Kunj Bhagat bowling from left arm around the wicket to the right-handed Arepalli. The field is a fair bit spread out right now as the power plays are done. There is a man at sweeper cover, a man at long off, and 3 men sweeping the boundary on the leg side. Floated full, driven with an open face. Cover intercepts to keep that to a dot. A quiet start to this Kunj Bhagat over, a couple of dots. Arepalli has been pretty boisterous over the last few overs, finding boundaries with regularity. Can spin stifle his freedom? Again floated full, this time square driven with an open face. Deep cover runs to his left to keep that to a single. Kunj Bhagat has figures of 1 for 24 in this competition so far. He's got 5 wickets overall in his T20 career. Swept hard by the left-handed Adada. Square leg is challenged and the ball wins the race by a comfortable distance. That was a fiercely struck sweep shot. He got down low and put some timing onto that shot. That is Adada's second boundary. Let's take a look at the replay. This was bowled a little bit on the shorter side and angling into the leg side of the left-hander. Adada equal to the task, going down low and slapping a fierce sweep pull shot of sorts. This time cut with an open face. Deep point runs in to keep that to a single. Nice flat throw back towards the keeper. Adada is dealing in sixes at the moment. Both of his 2 boundaries have been sixes. Both of these batters contrasting with their active scoring zones. Arepalli on the offside. Big swing by Arepalli. Not quite the solid contact on this occasion. That is the end of Kunj Bhagat's first over. 8 runs off of it. Strikers 53 for none after 7. More bowling changes underway for the Surf Riders. We have Sabrish Prasad introduced into the attack from the near end. Watchfully defended by Adada, but it finds the edge and runs back towards third man. Point gives chase, but the chase is in vain. That is a useful edged boundary by the batter. A fair bit of momentum for strikers right now. Boundaries coming off most of the last 4 or 5 overs. This time fortuitously. That is Adada's first boundary in the offside. He scored a couple of sixes courtesy of a pull shot and a sweep shot in the last couple of overs. This time an edged boundary through the slips. Strikers move to 57 for none of 7.1. Increasing momentum after each of the last 3 or 4 overs. No slips yet for the spin bowler. This time he goes for a reverse slap. A diving half stop by the tumbling fielder at point on the ring. It is a single. Oh no, it's dribbled towards the fence for 4. Runs are coming in the form of boundaries off the bat of Adada right now. That is 4 and 4 to begin Prasad's off spin. A fair bit of pressure on the bowler right now. He's got boundary riders in front of the wicket around the ground. 3 on the leg side and the deep, and a couple on the off side, but all these 2 boundaries have been behind the wicket or square of the wicket. This time defended towards point, and the batters are alert enough to scamper through for a quick single. Adada was studious in the first 4 or 5 overs, but in the last few minutes, courtesy of those 2 sixes and a couple of boundaries this over, he's surged to 27 of 25. Both batters striking comfortably above 100. Correction, Adada's at actually 33 of 20. Arepali is 27 of 25 right now. He's about to face Prasad for the first time. Prasad switches to right arm over the wicket to the right-hander. Arepali goes back and launches this one over. Long on runs to his left. It is a comfortable boundary, a couple of yards inside the fence. Both batters continue to take a shine to the spin bowling. 4-4, single and a 4. It's been 13 runs with a couple of balls to go on this over from Prasad. Strikers jump to 66 for none inside the 8th over. This time he opens the face of the bat and a couple of tumbling fieldsmen in the ring, but the ball sneaks through both of them. They have enough time to come back for a second run. Lots of applause from the strikers' dugout as the batters continue to accumulate the runs. "15 runs of this over so far with the ball to go. This time push back towards the bowler. Prasad runs to his right to intercept. That is a quiet finish to an expensive over. 15 of the off-spinning Prasad. As strikers finish the 8th over at 68 for none. The run rate 8.5 right now. Kunj Bhagat continues from the far end. Left arm over to the left hand. Adada tries to slap this towards point. No contact. A useful dot ball. Can the Surf Riders build a sequence of quiet deliveries, maybe a couple of overs, going at 3 or 4 runs? Can they build a little bit of impatience on the batters? Flicked off the pads this time. Deep square leg jogs forward. Short fine leg eventually cleans up. Arepali goes back and hits this one towards sweeper cover for a single. Both these batters quite comfortable against both the left arm spin and the off spin so far. Both of them quick on their feet, going back whenever the opportunity presents itself. Arepali's been scoring heavily in the offside while... Oh, that is a catch, is it? The Surf Riders converge and celebrate. relief for the Surf Riders. After rambunctious opening stand, it has yielded 70 runs for strikers. That's a pretty productive stand. Adada falls for an extremely enterprising 34 of 22 balls. He was watchful early on, then he exploded with a flurry of sixes and fours. Let's take a look at the replay. He tried to slap that one, unfortunately going straight to the man at point on the ring. A nice low catch by the fieldsman. Applause for Adada as he walks back for a well-made 34 of 22 balls, aided by 2 fours and 2 sixes. Abhi Singh, the man at point who took that low, sharp chance. Shehan Jayasuriya is the man in at number 3. The strikers have a right-left combination continuing. Jayasuriya scored 1,600 plus runs off his 58 matches so far, and also 25 wickets with his bowling. He's quite a strong striker in at number 3, originally from Sri Lanka. Left arm spin to the left-handed batter. This is a matchup that Jayasuriya would fancy, the ball turning into his arc. Watchfully defended towards point for a quick single. Jayasuriya is off the mark straight away. This is the first over in quite a few overs that we haven't seen a boundary. One more ball to go. Can Kunj Bhagat finish off with a quiet delivery? Or even better, can he surprise Arepalli with something? Arepalli has been prolific on the offside, so watch out for a shot through the square cover region. This time he goes back and pulls this one wide of the long on fieldsman. Long off runs to his right. Fields on the second bounce. A single to finish a productive over for Kunj Bhagat and Surf Riders. After 9 overs, strikers 1 for 72. Sabrish Prasad to continue with his off spin from the near end. Prasad to Arepalli. Toss step. Arepalli slams this one over mid wicket. It's going to sail over the waiting long on fieldsman for another 6. That is a mighty strike. Let's take a look at the replay. Tossed up into Arepalli's swinging arc. He went down low and swept that wide of the long on fieldsman. The placement didn't matter much because it cleared the boundary by a few yards. That is Arepalli's first 6. He moves to 41 of 31. This one tickled toward the short fine leg fieldsman for a single. Prasad switches to around the wicket for the left-handed Jayasuriya. A few adjustments in the field. Worked away towards the mid-wicket region for what appears to be a second run. The batters are quick enough to complete it comfortably eventually. Nobody on the ring in the leg side. The bowler had to chase that one. Big swing by Jayasuriya, no contact. The keeper rips the bails off, but not out, says the umpire. A useful dot from Prasad. This time opens his face towards the third man region for a quick single. The last ball of the 10th over coming up. Can Sabrish Prasad go into the break with a surprise strike? Flashed hard towards deep point by Arepalli. That is also a 4. A pretty bold finish to the first 10 overs by Arepalli. He surges to 46 of just 33 balls with that boundary. The boundaries have been flowing off his blade over the last 5 or 6 overs. Strikers 86 for 1 at the halfway stage as the players take a drink. Bowled a little wide of the off stump. Arepalli using the width to unfurl a cut shot. Let's adjourn for a break as the players grab some refreshments. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Jayasuriya glides that towards point for a dot ball. A couple of quiet dot balls to begin the 11th over. Kunj Bhagat continues to operate into his third over. He's been the pick of the bowling so far. He's made the one incision. This time, Jayasuriya goes down low and slogs it towards mid-wicket. The batters have enough time to come back for a couple of runs. Strikers have put together a pretty solid platform to build on and accelerate as we go in towards the second half of this innings. Boundaries have flown of pace and spin alike. Tossed up. Jayasuriya lets that go because it is wide of the tram lines. Wide, says the umpire. We haven't seen too many wides in this game so far. This time an attempted move through the offside. Appears to be a wide again. A couple of consecutive wides by the left-arm spinner. This time Jayasuriya goes down low and slams it towards deep square leg. There is a man at the fence there. A bit of a bobble there allows the batters to come back for a comfortable single. Again, a similar stroke. Again, the same fieldsman in business, but this time only one. The sweep shot has made quite the regular appearance, especially when the left-handers have been in strike against Kunj Bhagat. Earlier, Adada unfurled a sweep shot or two, and now Jayasuriya employing that regularly. It's the right-handed Arepalli back on strike. He goes back and hits fiercely towards long on. It's only going to be a single though, despite the mild misfield. Eight runs of this over. That is the end of a slightly longish over courtesy of the couple of wides. Strikers 94 for 1 after 11. Vijayaram Nandula about to bowl for the first time. He's about to bowl right arm over to Arepalli. He begins with a pretty strong offside field. 6 men on the offside. Nobody down the ground. Mid-off is in the ring. There is a long on in place though. Bashed into the wicket, guided with an open face by Arepalli for a quick single. There is an overthrow which allows the batters to scamper. Oh, they think otherwise and stay with one. Few adjustments in the field as Nandula calibrates his field for the left-hander. Worked away off the pads by Jayasuriya. Deep fine leg is in business. That is only going to be a single. Attempted cut shot by Arepalli, no contact. Umpire says wide. There's been a few extras in the last couple of overs. Kunj Bhagat with a couple of wides in the previous over. Now Nandula with one. Ball straighter this time, defended back towards the bowler for a useful dot ball. Nandula playing only his second game for the Surf Riders. We haven't seen too much of him with the ball so far in this tournament. That is a wide again. Trying to bash it into the wicket, but quite comfortably outside the tram lines. We're only 3 balls into this 12th over. 4 runs off this over so far. Bowled fuller, cover driven by Arepalli. There's a couple of fellows in the deep to protect the square region. That is a single. As Arepalli moves to 49 from 37. That is comfortably his highest score in minor league cricket. Strikers poised 1 from the 100 mark. Arepalli poised 1 from the 50 mark, although it is Jayasuriya on strike right now. Tossed up, driven through the covers by Jayasuriya. The sweeper cover runs to his left. Can he stop it? Nope, is the answer. That is 4 for Jayasuriya. He moves to 14 from 11 balls with that 4. Strikers bring their 100 mark with that boundary. 103 for 1 inside the 12th over. This time Jayasuriya goes leg side, fierce pull shot in the gap as well. Long on runs to his left in Wayne. Consecutive boundaries by Jayasuriya. The strikers pile on the pressure with some proactive batting. They finish the 12th over with 107 for 1. Nandula goes for 13 in his first over. Jayasuriya stepping forward with abandon on that occasion and then slapping it wide at the long on fieldsman. There is a big yawning gap between mid-wicket and long on, and Jayasuriya took full toll. Kunj Bhagat about to bowl out. Continues to operate from the far end. He's got 1 for 20 of his 3 overs. He's been the most economical bowler amongst the spinners so far. Slapped with an open face towards the covers for a single by Arepalli. He brings up his 50 with that stroke, 50 of 38 balls. This has been a tremendous innings. A lot of applause from the striker's dugout as he raises his bat towards his teammates. Keep going is the chant from the dugout. He would be hungry for more. 50 from just 38 balls. Strike rate just a little north of 131. Arepalli had a fast start yesterday as well, but today going on to make a score of substance. That is another wide from Kunj Bhagat to the left-hander. He's been bowling a few wides to the left-hander Jayasuriya. Sam Jayasuriya goes back and works this one towards the mid-wicket fieldsman. .50 of 38. Arepalli on strike. Now that he's got the 50 mark, we wouldn't be too surprised if he starts opening up his shoulders a fair bit more. He goes back and tries to force that one into the covers. No contact. A useful dot ball by the bowler. This time Arepalli slams it towards wide long on. The fieldsmen converge, but in vain. That is yet another boundary of the punishing blade of Arepalli. He jumps to 54 now. He is an ominous touch. Arepalli moves to 54 with the help of 7 fours and 1 6. About 70% of his runs have come off boundaries. Boundaries of pace and spin alike. He took a shine to the off spin on offer earlier, now punishing the left arm spin as well. He was fierce against the pacers, especially in the offside. He goes back again, this time biffs this one down the ground, bounces off. Long off, can't do anything about that. 4 more. Eighth boundary for Arepalli. Bhagat was able to keep a bit of a lid on these batters for the last 3 overs, but this over, Arepalli has managed to punish him. 2 boundaries so far, 1 ball to go. There is a long off and a long on in place, but the last one was struck over the bowler's head. This time he goes back and tries to force it through the covers. No contact, as he is a little disappointed with the miss. That is the end of Kunj Bhagat's spell. Tidy work for the most part. A couple of boundaries of his last over. 1 for 31 of his 4 overs. Strikers going merry at 118 for 1 after 13 overs. A bowling change from the Surf Riders, guided by Jayasuriya towards point for a single, as Abhi Singh bowls his first over. He's bowling right arm off spin around the wicket to the left-hander. He switches back over the wicket to the right-handed Arepalli. Arepalli is 58 to 42, looking to take on the bowling. He punished the off-spin of Prasad earlier. We won't be too surprised if he tries to go proactive against Singh's off spin. This time guided through the covers. It's only going to be a single. Sweeper fields. Shehan tries to sweep that. Not any significant contact. This time he's lofted it down the ground. Long on watches it sail over his head by a bunch of yards. That is a mighty 6 by Jayasuriya. He surges to 26 of 16 with that stroke. That was bowled fuller. Jayasuriya stepped forward and creamed that over long on. The strikers continuing to pile on the runs. There was tossed up around about off and middle stump. Jayasuriya taking full toll. This time firing faster but down the leg side. Good collection by the keeper but wide nonetheless. Jayasuriya goes down low and unfolds a sweep shot this time. On the bounce to the fieldsman, a deep square leg. It is a single this time. This is a dangerous partnership. Both batters set, both batters looking for boundaries. Arepalli goes back and punches this one towards sweeper cover. It is only going to be a single, a tumbling stop in the deep. Singh's been bowling off spinners to the left-handed Jayasuriya, and it appears from the com box at least that he's occasionally bowling a little bit of wrist spin to the right-handed Arepalli. That is the end of Singh's first over, 11 runs off it, primarily because of that 6 by Jayasuriya. Strikers 129 for 1 after 14. The partnership burgeoning with every over, 59 from just 32 balls, north of 10 runs an over. Jayasuriya 27 of 17, Arepalli 26 of 15, so even contributions from both batters. And they would be hungry for more as we transition towards the last 6 overs of the innings. Strikers have 9 wickets in the bag, so they have the license to really go hell for leather at this stage. Strikers looking for their 3rd win in this competition. They've got 2 wins and a defeat so far. They defeated the Lashings and the Grizzlies earlier, and last night they lost to the Blazers. That was their first defeat at this home ground of theirs at Tarika. Zadran back in from the far end. Chip towards the covers for a quick single. Zadran to Jayasuriya for the first time. Guided towards the 3rd man region by Jayasuriya. Tumbling stop by the man in the ring, a single. Looking through Zadran's stats from the 2024 season, he's got an interesting split between left and right-handers. He's got a much better economy against left-handers while he's taken most of his wickets against the right-handers. Right about now, Surf Riders wouldn't care which of the batters get dismissed. They would want a wicket to break this threatening partnership. Can Zadran find a way past Arepalli? Arepalli launches this towards mid, long on runs to his left. He makes a valiant stop. The batters stay with a single. A little bit of cheer from the Safraras dugout. It's a little quiet in the middle from the fieldsmen right now. This partnership piling on a little bit of agony for the fielding unit. Can Zadran's pace find some answers? Jayasuriya on strike as he continues to bowl over the wicket. Launched by Jayasuriya over the covers. Sweeper runs in and he pouches an important catch. That is the end of a threatening partnership. Zadran gets reward. His first wicket into his third over. Strikers 132 for 2 in the middle of the 15th over, as Jayasuriya makes the walk back for a pretty proactive 28 of just 19 balls. Let's take a look at the replay. That is angled across the left-hander, full enough for Jayasuriya to go for that big booming drive over covers. It might have been sliced just a little bit, which brought the man at sweeper cover in business. Jayasuriya caught by Fernando in the deep of Zadran, 28 of 19, striking just a little south of 150. All of Striker's batters have scored at a pretty handsome strike rate in this game so far. And another left-hander replaces Jayasuriya. Skipper Raymond Reefer in at number 4. The experienced former West Indies captain Ray Reefer, he's been chasing in all three of Strikers' games so far, because Strikers have been chasing every single game. This is the first time he's batting up first. Driven straight down the ground, good looking stroke. Long on and long off converge. The batters are quick enough to scramble a second run. Efficient start by the skipper. Off the mark straight away. That is bowled full, and on Midland leg, he was able to drive it just past the bowler and the stumps. "51 runs in this competition so far by Reefer. Swung away towards the short fine leg region. A tumbling half stop by the fielder allows the batters to get a single. That is the end of a useful over by Zadran. 6 runs and an important wicket. Strikers find themselves 135 for 2 after 15 overs. Vanipalli from the near end bowling around the wicket to the left-handed Reefer. Reefer works this one towards the point region for a quick single. There is an overthrow. The bowlers and allows the batters to come back for 2. Surf Riders cannot allow these errors to creep up. Strikers sitting pretty at the moment, 135 for 2. They have a new batter in the middle. Reefer goes boom. It sails over the watching deep mid-wicket fieldsman. That is a handsome 6. That is Reefer's first boundary. He moves to 11 of 4 with that 6. That is fiercely struck, angled into the left-hander by Vanipalli. Reefer opening his shoulders up and launching it up and over. Every striker's batter so far has been enterprising. They've been finding the boundaries. Can Surf Riders stem the tide and find a few quiet overs as we creep into this death stage of the batting innings? This time full face of the bat, struck past the bowler. Just a single this time. .144 for 2 with a set Arepalli in the middle and a dangerous Reefer at the other end. The strikers would be eyeing their chances of reeling in a total close to 200. Vanipalli to Arepalli. Arepalli lofts this down the ground to the right of cover. Long off runs to his left. The batters have enough time to complete a comfortable second run. If the strikers can go 2 runs a ball or 12 runs an over, they should be able to reel in 200. Although Surf Riders would have other ideas. Vanipalli to Arepalli. Again, similar direction. Again, long off runs to his left. This time they scramble a similarly comfortable second run. "13 runs with his Vanipalli over so far with 1 ball to go. The challenge for Surf Riders is even when strikers don't hit a boundary, they're getting these 1s and 2s with regularity. 3 2s in this over already. Big booming stroke this time by the right-handed batter. 6 over mid-wicket. Earlier in the over, Reefer got a 6 over mid-wicket, so both left and right-handers finding 6s in the mid-wicket region. That is an expensive over. 19 runs of Vanipalli's second over as strikers surged to 154 for 2 at the end of the 16th over. Let's take a look at the replay. Angled into the middle stump. Big swing of the bat by Arepalli, going across the line of the ball. Runs have flown of pace and spin alike in this innings. Arepalli moves to 72 of 49 balls. He's 28 inside of 100. He's got about 4 overs to reel in the magical 3-figure mark. Javed Zadran from the far end. Reefer opens his face of his bat and places it precisely in between short third man and point for a boundary. This is skillful batsmanship from the batters that has bowled a little wide at the off stump. Reefer using the width and getting some timing on that, and the placement was pitch perfect. Moving just a little towards the leg side to free his arms. He moves to 16 of 6 balls. Already a 4 and a 6. Bowled a lot fuller this time. Reefer strikes it fiercely, but to the man in the ring. The batters hustle for a single. There's an overthrow which allows him to complete a second run. Both batters are on their bikes right now. Inside the last 4 overs, any shot's going to be at least a single. Can Zadran stem the tide with the wicket? Zadran to Reefer. A bit of a false start by the bowler. Full. Reefer offers the full face of the bat. Driven down the ground, along the ground. Long off cleans up, keeps it to a single. Nice flat throw back towards the bowler. Singles are okay from the bowling team's standpoint at this stage. Arepalli 72 of 49. Early in the innings, he found some boundaries of Zadran through the square region on the offside. Which area is he going to target now? Bowled a lot fuller. It might have found the boot of the batter, trickles towards the third man region just behind the keeper for a 4 in the form of leg buys. Useful ones for the strikers. There was good bowling by the batter, but unfortunately found the boot and sailed over the keeper. Pacey and full. And the shape to the leg side defeated the keeper as he jumped to his left. .165 for 2. This time Arepalli finds a bit of an edge towards the silly point region. The bowler runs forward to field. It is a single nonetheless. Zadran's been pacey this over. Reefer's showed a lot of touch in his brief innings so far. Fuller launched down the ground, long off jogs forward. It just defeats him. That is disappointment for Surf Riders. It bounced a few yards in front of the running longer fieldsman. Might have just arced to his right as the batter's fist pump. Strikers 170 for 2 after 17 overs. The run rate a staggering 10 runs an over right now. This is bowled a lot tighter but fuller, allowing Reefer to go searching for a boundary down the ground. It appears to be Nandula about to bowl his second over. Big swish by the batter. An appeal for caught behind, upheld by the umpire. The Surf Riders celebrate a very, very sharp take by the keeper. We are waiting for confirmation if the bowler is indeed Nandula. Snell Patel, the man behind the stumps who completed that sharp chance. Arepalli departs for an extremely well-made 73 of .52 balls. He's greeted by a ton of applause from his teammates at the dugout. Eight fours and 2 sixes to aid his 73. He's put the strikers in a position of strength. Nandula with his first wicket in minor league cricket. He's bowling of a slightly different run up this over. He was bowling some medium pace in the previous over. It seems to be some fastish spin on offer right now. Dug out towards the long on region by Gary Graham in at number 5. He is off the mark. A couple of West Indians in the middle now. Gary Graham, the 43-year-old from Jamaica, at the non-strikers in now. Reefer, the skipper, on strike. Ball into the wicket. Reefer bashes it towards sweeper cover for another single. There's a bit of a fumble there in the deep, allowing the batters to complete a second run. This time more straighter. Long off is in business. Only a single this time. Singles are okay from a Surf Rider standpoint at this stage. Gary Graham scored 13 runs of 13 balls in the game against Blazers yesterday. Big swing, appeal for caught behind. Nope, says the umpire. Graham was shaping towards mid-wicket and made no contact on that occasion. Graham goes searching for a big hit again. The bowler runs in pursuit, but not quite able to complete that catch. The breeze being a bit of a challenge on that occasion. The batters complete a second run, all happening in the middle. Graham shaping up for a slog towards mid-wicket, finding an edge. There was a bit of a steepler, nobody in the field around short mid-wicket. The bowler had to give chase, and that one just eluding his outstretched arms. That is the end of a successful over for Nandula. Just 6 runs and a handy wicket of the set batter, Arepalli. Strikers 176 for 3 after 18. Supransh Kumar, the young quick, is back to bowl his fourth over. He was pacey and accurate in his first spell. None for 14 of his 3 overs so far. He begins around the wicket to the left-handed Reefer. Reefer goes over, covers. Is it 4 or is it 6? 6 says the umpire. That is a mighty bit of timing from the batter that is bowled a little outside off stump. Reefer showing a little bit of muscle and timing on that occasion, lifting it over the infield and over the outfield eventually. That is bowled around about 5th or 6th stump. Reefer collapsing his back leg and finding some elevation. That is a mighty blow. He moves to 32 of 12. He's been menacing so far in his stay. This is launched down the ground from the dugout. It's probably going to be 6 again. The umpire says it is 6 again. Consecutive 6s. Skipper Reefer really putting the pedal on the metal right now. This was bowled a fair bit fuller compared to the previous delivery, allowing Reefer to launch it down the ground. Reefer's got 38 runs from a mere 13 balls, striking at close to a monstrous 300 so far. Fuller again, almost a full toss. Slammed through, covers. It is 6 again. This is magnificent striking from Reefer. 3 6s on the bounce. Surf Riders reeling under a Reefer-inspired onslaught late in the piece. 9 balls to go. Reefer surges to 44 of 14. In sight of a comfortable 59 more balls to go. Strikers 200. Forget 200. They think 210, 220 right now. None for 14 from his first 3 overs. Supransh Kumar, in the blink of an eye, it's none for 32 with 3 more balls to go. That is the challenge for bowlers in the death against a powerful batter. 44 from 14. What's Reefer going to do now? This time a bit of a miss hit towards short mid wicket, only a single this time. The bowler runs to field. That is a much better result for the fielding team. The new batter in strike. Graham 3 of 3 so far. Supransh to Graham for the first time. Graham goes looking for the big stroke, but this one is indeed a big stroke. A delayed signal from the umpire. That is also 6. It is raining 6s here at Morgan Hill at the death of Striker's first innings. Strikers bring up 200 with that strike. Graham jumps to 9 of 4 with his first boundary of the innings. This is a formidable late assault from the Strikers batting unit. Supransh Kumar's last ball. Graham goes for a big swing again. This time pouched in the deep. Not much of a celebration from the fielding unit. Graham walks back after trying to accelerate. 9 from 5 balls. Let's take a look at the replay. Strikers 201 for 4 after 19 overs. This was a lowish full toss. He tried to slam that towards the mid-wicket region. The fielder didn't have to move too much to complete that catch. A useful wicket for Surf Riders as we lead into the 20th over of the innings. bring the man at the deep who pouched that catch. That was Singh's second catch of the day. Nandula to continue. He's about to bowl his third over, the last over of the innings. He's bowling over the wicket to the dangerous Reefer. Reefer's on 45 from just 15 balls. Will he bring his 50 with a mighty big strike? Can Nandula keep him quiet? It's bowled wide of the off stump. Reefer goes for a fierce cut over the covers. That is a one bounce 4. The width allowing Reefer to throw his arms into that stroke. 49 from a mere 16 balls. This is a tour de force from the skipper. This time Reefer goes leg side. He goes down low and smokes it over square leg. Applause at the dugout suggests it's 6. I'm waiting for the umpire's signal. 6 it is. It is raining sixes here at Morgan Hill off the bat of Reefer. He brings his 50 up, 55 from 17 balls. Magnificent batting at the late stage. Applause from the dugout. A few chirps from the Blue Jays nearby. We have a little stoppage as the fielders retrieve the ball. 4 more balls to go. Reefer's been in the middle for only 17 balls. He's pulverized the bowling, 3 4s and 5 6s. Half of the deliveries he's faced, he's slammed them to the boundary. 75% of his runs have come through these big boundaries. A few chirps of encouragement from the fielding unit for Nandula. He's got 4 more balls to go. Can he stem the tide? He's bowling around the wicket at the moment. A few calibrations in the field. Everyone in the deep on the fence. Everyone in the ring at the edge of the ring. Bowled Fuller around about off stump. Appeal for caught behind. The umpire is unmoved. Reefer tried to guide that one through the offside. No contact. A useful dot ball. Dots are absolute gold dust at this stage of the innings. Strikers 211 for 4. 3 balls to go. A dangerous Reefer on strike. Can they bring in 225? Can Nandula sneak a wicket at this stage? Full again beats the attempted guide from the batter. Good bowling. The foolish length allowing no leverage for the batter. This time Reefer tries to innovate. He went down low, shaping towards fine leg initially, then adjusted deftly and got this over the short third man fieldsman for a very innovative boundary. A nice display of variety by the skipper. He moves to 59 of 20. 14 runs of this over so far. The last ball of the innings coming up. Strikers 215 for 4. This is the highest score at this ground in this tournament so far. This is the 6th game at this ground over the last 3 days or so. Blazers had a score close to the 200 mark a couple of days back. This one comfortably atop the batting charts. 215 for 4. Last ball coming up. A little bit of byplay. Reefer moving across the stumps and the bowler aborting his run-up. Reefer returns the favour this time. Or was he not ready? Nandula to Reefer. Whoops. That's 3 false starts in a row. Everyone's in position finally. Last ball coming up. Reefer goes for a big swing. This time trickles into the leg side. It's going to be a couple of scrambled runs. No overthrows. Strikers finish with a towering 217 for 4 in their quota of 20 overs. Reefer finishes unbeaten 61 powerful runs of just 21 balls, aided by a bunch of mighty sixes around the ground. Suri unbeaten 0 of 0, did not even get the strike. Nandula has figures of 1 for 35 of his 3 overs at the death. His first wicket in minor league cricket. Strikers in a commanding position at the moment. They won the toss and chose to bat first, and they would be pretty stoked with 217 for 4. Their top order coming to the party big time. Abhinay Reddy, Vanipalli, Amog Arepalli at the top with 73 of 52. The headliner for most of the innings, 34 from just 23 balls by Tarun Adara. So a strong opening partnership setting this innings up. Jayasuriya at number 3 with a very enterprising 28 of 19. But a lot of destruction at number 4 in the form of skipper Reefer, 61 from 21, a strike rate close to 300, doing the bulk of the damage at the death. San Diego Surf Riders need 218 from their 20 overs for their second win in this competition, as the players head towards the dugout for a mid-innings break. We thank all our folks on the live stream. We will take a quick look at the bowling scorecard here. Pace or spin, both forms of bowling traveled a fair bit today. Sapranj Kumar was pacey and accurate in his first 3 overs, 1 for 39. Eventually got some punishment from Reefer in the 19th over. Zadran was also quick, 1 for 36 of his 4 overs. Kunj Bhagat with the most respectable economy, 1 for 31 of his 4 overs. He got the first breakthrough. Sabrish Prasad got some treatment for his 2 overs, none for 29. Manipali also some treatment, none for 31 of his 2. Nandula with 1 wicket, 1 for 35, and Abhi Singh with just a 1 over. We'll adjourn for about 10 to 15 minutes as the players take a mid-innings break. We want to thank all our viewers on the stream. We'll hope to see you in about 15 minutes. See you in a little bit. Thank you. Cricket fans, welcome back. San Diego Surf Riders in pursuit of a 200 plus target, get their first boundary. End of the first over, Netravalkar has figures of 1 for 4. Pace from both ends, Zazai to begin proceedings from the near end, right arm quick over the wicket. Nandula about to face his first ball. Zazai to Nandula. He's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 field. 6 fielders on the offside. Pushed into the cover tentatively. They have a quick single. Try the non-strikers and appeal for an out, but the umpire is unmoved. Lots of drama in the middle. Gary Graham from the covers with the throw at the non-striker's end, but the batter's in safe. Nandula off the mark with that single. The breeze is picked up across the ground. It has been a constant feature at games here at Tarika. Zazai to bowl to Sharma. Bashed into the wicket. Sharma tries to up and over the keeper, but no contact. Zazai's got this penchant for bowling occasionally foolish and plenty of times in the middle of the wicket. He tries to bash the middle of the wicket and try to get it to climb over the batter's head. He has been an interesting challenge for most of the batters through this tournament. A pacey customer who can mix his lengths up well with a fair bit of control. What's the follow-up delivery gonna be? Zazai to Sharma. Tad full at this time. Poked into the offside for a quick single. Try the strikers in this time. No contact. Deep square leg backs it up. This will be comfortably the highest chase at this ground. Surf Riders in pursuit of the second victory in this competition. They have 1 win and 3 defeats so far. Strikers 2 wins against 1 defeat. They are looking for their 3rd victory. All of the games played here at their home base at Strikers Cricket Ground, Aka Tarika. Attempted steer finds an edge which tickles towards fine leg for fortuitous boundary for Nandula. Surf Riders won't care as long as the runs keep coming. Let's take a look at the replay. Nandula tried to play that in front of the wicket but got an inside edge which beat the keeper and the short fine leg fieldsman. He's got his first boundary now. Bashed into the wicket again. This time Nandula leaves it alone. Desai switching back and forth between that middle of the wicket length and the slightly foolish offering. That is an interesting proposition for the batters. They have to be alert. This time push towards the offside. Point runs into field. Dot ball. Pacey offerings from Desai. That is the end of Desai's first over. 6 off it. Just the 40 to his boundaries. Surf Riders 10 for 1 after 2. The run rate 5 per over. The required rate 11.5 already. Netravalkar to continue from the far end, bowling left arm around the wicket to the right-handed Sharma. Sharma goes down low and across and paddles it over the vacant fine leg region for an innovative boundary. Good bold innovation from the batter. Second boundary for him. Surf Riders 14 for 1. They need plenty of boundaries to keep the pursuit alive. The left-armer's angle into the right-hander, allowing the opportunity for some innovation. And Sharma showing some bold, deft footwork. There is a deep fine leg and a deep square leg in place right now. A little bit of adjustment in the field after that shot. We're still inside the power plays, which means it's only 2 fielders outside the circle. This time a poke, an appeal for caught behind, and the strikers converge to celebrate. Terrific post from Netravalkar. This time bowled a little fuller, pacier. Sharma trying to defend that one into the offside and getting the outside edge. Amog Arepalli, the man behind the stumps, completing a regulation take. Second strike by Netravalkar inside his second over. This shaped in just a little bit after pitching. Kissing the outside edge of the bat. Surf Riders in some choppy waters early on in their chase. 14 for 2 after 14 balls. Netravalkar's bowled 12 overs prior to this game in this competition. So far, he bagged 4 wickets in his second game, 4 for 9. In a thunderous over, he dismissed 4 batters in the contest against LA Lashings a couple of games ago. He's amongst the top order right now. Tail up. Patel number 4. Patel ducks. Snell Patel, the wicketkeeper, in at number 4 for Surf Riders. facing the twin challenge of stemming the early couple of wickets. They need a partnership at the same time in sight of a pretty imposing run rate. This time it jags back into the right-hander. He keeps it in bay. A couple of days ago, a similar ball resulted in a pretty dramatic bold. Saurabh's angle always snaking it into the right-hander. And even after the defensive shot is complete, the ball sometimes threatens to trickle back towards the stumps. Opens his face towards Point. Point unable to stop that one. That trickles away for a much needed boundary. Patel opens his account with a square driven 4. Definite back towards the bowler by Patel. That's a quiet finish to an eventful over, a wicket and a couple of boundaries. Netrawalkar's got figures of 2 for 12 of his 2 overs. Surf Riders 18 for 2 after 3. Zazai continues to bowl from the near end. He's got figures of 4 for 84 from his games in this tourney so far. An economy just a little south of 6.5. Mandula works this one down the ground, mid-on fields. That is a dot ball. Lots of chirp in the infield. The strikers fielding unit buoyed by those 2 early strikes by Netrawalkar. They have a tremendously powerful total to defend. Push towards mid-on again, this time a little softer, which allows the batters to complete a comfortable single. Tumbling, diving throw from the mid-on fieldsman. No impact. Snell Patel's made 64 runs in this tournament so far prior to this contest with a high score of 48. He's been striking just a little over 100. Bashed into the wicket, pulled down the ground. The bowler makes a half stop and mid-on is in business again. Dot ball. Bashed into the wicket. This time he gets the elevation. The periscope is up. Deft bit of handwork by the batter. Zazai going to his trademark middle of the pitch offering with a fair bit of bounce. Patel balanced and poised at the crease, arching his back and launching that one up and over the slips. A handy boundary. Yusuf Zazai has been a difficult customer for most batters through this tournament. That is good reward for some good innovation by the batter. Bashed into the wicket again, this time a softly struck pull shot. A tumbling square leg cannot intercept. 4 more for Patel. These are good signs for Surf Riders rather. Patel moves to 12 of 7 with that boundary. Consecutive boundaries of Zazai. 1 more ball to go in this over. Again shot, again an open face, but this time there's a fielder in place for that shot. On the bounce to the fieldsman, only a single to third man. That completes a pretty constructive over for the batting unit. 10 runs off of it. Zazai's got figures of none for 16 off his 2. Surf Riders progressed to 28 for 2 after 4 overs. Three on the trot for Netravalkar. He's about to continue from the far end. Left arm around the wicket to the right-handed Patel. Watchfully defended towards the square leg region for a dot. Snell Patel is a 31-year-old originally from Rajkot, Gujarat. He's active for Saurashtra for a number of seasons. This time he's worked it off his hips towards short mid-wicket for a dot ball. There's 3 men in the ring on the leg side. A short fine leg, a short mid-wicket and a mid-on. The only man back is a deep square leg. The other fielder in the deep is a deep point. Defended with soft hands towards the short third man. They think about a single, but they stay with a dot. Tidy fielding by Gary at short third man. Snell Patel is close to 2,000 first-class runs across 67 innings for Saurashtra. A couple of centuries in 1150s. He also played for the rest of India side, contending for the Irani Cup back in 2019. Pull shot. It's going to beat the man running to his left from deep square leg. Again, a boundary for Snell Patel. That is his 4th boundary. He's dealing in boundaries. He's 17 of 12, 16 of those through those boundaries. Netravalkar now operating from left arm over the wicket. This time slammed through the covers. It is going to be yet another boundary for Patel. The boundaries keep flowing off the bat of Snell Patel. That is his fifth boundary, 21 from 13. 20 of those runs through those 5 boundaries. 36 for 2 inside the 5th over. Surf Riders navigating these power plays a lot better after those 2 early wickets. No change in the field yet. Netrewalkar about to bowl his last delivery. Last of his 3rd over. Softly played towards square leg for a single. Applause from the Surf Riders dugout as Surf Riders move to 37 for 2 after 5 overs. They've got one more over in the power play to try and do some more damage. The current run rate 7.4, the required run rate 12.1. First offering of spin from the strikers bowling department in the form of the left-armed Kamran Hotak. Left-arm conventional spin from around the wicket. Patel gives himself a little bit of room and carves him over the cover region for yet another boundary. Six fours of the blade of Patel so far. Still 4 more balls before the power plays are done. An immediate adjustment in the field in response to that shot. Yusuf Zazai has been called back into mid-off as cover drops back towards sweeper cover. The other man in the deep is a deep mid-wicket. Patel this time goes over long off. This is clever batting. The mid-off fieldsman was just pulled back into the ring and immediately steps forward and into the line of the ball and launches it over the mid-off fieldsman. Handsome looking boundary. He moves to 30 of 17. Again consecutive boundaries. Left arm pace or left arm spin. Snell Patel has responded with boundaries. It's a little bit of ping pong for the fieldsman at the moment. Long off back in place. Cover back in the ring. A little shorter, this time to the cover again. This is a game of cat and mouse by the batter. A little bit shorter from Kamran Hotak. He goes back and punches it through covers. 3 boundaries on the bounce from the batter. This is a bold start to the Surf Riders power play. An early couple of wickets. But Patel with some broadsides, 34 of 18 on the back of 8 crisply struck boundaries. He's targeted different areas of the field. He played a pretty clever ramp shot of Zazai a few minutes ago. What's Hotak's response going to be? This time tickled towards the point region for a dot. Guided towards the short cover fieldsman for a dot. Good response from Kamran Hodak, a tidy finish to an expensive over. 12 runs off the last of the power plays. Surf Riders surfing on the crest of a wave inspired by Snell Patel's bold batting. More left-arm pace from the far end. Skipper Raymond Reefer loosens up to replace Netrewalkar. This has been the constant 1-2-3 bowling lineup for strikers Netrewalkar, Hotak and Skipper Reefer. 3 left-arm operators. Reefer is going to begin around the wicket to Nandula. Nandula's been off strike for the last couple of overs, 6 of 6. He's been watching from the non-strikers end as Patel's gone about dismantling the strikers' bowling. Played softly towards the point region for a quick single. Nandula turns the strike over to the man in form. Reefer making some changes in the field. Fine leg has been reeled back into the ring as mid-wicket drops back. There is a deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket in place for the right-handed Patel. Reefer to Patel. A leg side offering. It is a mild appeal by the bowling unit, but that was more of a distraction. The umpire says nope. In pursuit of an imposing total, Surf Riders bring up their 50 through those boundaries in the previous overs. 51 for 2 and 6.1. This time punched through a cover. A possible couple of runs. Eventually a comfortable couple of runs. Sweeper cover runs to his right. There is a bit of an overthrow, but the batters stick with the 2 runs. A little calibration in the field. Fine leg a lot finer in the ring actually. Slap towards the cover region for a dot. This time hit through the square region on the offside. Refer to Nandula. Nandula tickles this one towards mid-off for a quick single. It's been a relatively quiet over after those boundary-laden overs for the last couple of minutes. Banged into the wicket, a controlled pull shot by Patel. Deep mid-wicket jogs to keep that to a single. That is the end of a 7-run start by the skipper Reefer. Surf Riders 56 for 2 after 7 overs. Their run rate exactly 8 an over. The required run rate hovering around the 12.5 mark. As players grab some drinks, let's take a quick look at the points table in the Western Division of the Pacific Conference. At the moment, plenty of teams with 2 wins. Blazers, Thunderbolts, Grizzlies, and Strikers have 2 wins apiece, although Thunderbolts have played an extra game. There are games in progress at other venues as we speak. Shehan Jayasuriya entered the attack from the near end, replacing the left arm Kamran Hotak. We've got some leg spin on offer. He's bowling right arm around the wicket. Driven back towards the bowler by Nandula for a dot. Worked away off his pads towards the running deep mid-wicket fielder. They stick with a single. Worked off the pads again by Patel for a single as he moves to 40 with that stroke, 40 from 26. Surf Riders would hope Patel can play one really long innings here. He's been looking dangerous. Again, bowled on the pads, again flicked into the deep for a single. Attempted sweep shot that's been middled actually. It runs away towards deep square leg for 4. Patel continues his boundary scoring ways. He moves to 44 with that strike. That is at the end of an 8-run over from Jayasuriya. In fact, he's been bowling off spin, not leg spin. Correction. At the end of 8 overs, Surf Riders 64 for 2, striking at exactly 8 runs an over. Big booming drive from Nandula. He gets a 4 through deep point. Reefer beginning the 9th over with his left arm around the wicket. Nandula crushing that one through deep point, using the width to lace a square drive. That is his second boundary. The first boundary a little bit more streaky. That was his first more authoritative boundary. This time on the pads, he's helped it along the way over square leg for a thunderous 6 as Nandula. Lots of applause from the Surf Riders dugout as they encourage every boundary from the batters. They moved to 74 for 2. The run rate surging towards 9. Let's take a look at the replay. This was angled into the pads and going further down. Nandula using some expert hands to send it sailing over deep square leg. Nandula has been boisterous in the NCCA competition earlier this season. He'll be looking to translate that into minor league cricket this tournament. This time defended softly into the short cover region for a quick single. Tried the non-strikers in, but the batters in safe. Things are heating up in the middle. The batters in a confident phase right now. Both batters amongst boundaries. Patel obviously on a terrific hot streak. And Nandula also finding some thunderous strokes this over. This time work towards deep mid-wicket for a single by Patel. Patel's scored 45 runs. A single is actually a rare event for him. Most of his runs have come through those boundaries. Surf Riders head-to-head against Strikers stands at 1 win v 5 losses. Defended back towards the bowler. Shayad, the Strikers end. The keeper cleans up. A little bit of aggression from the bowler. That was defended back to him. But Nandula was securely ensconced in the crease. Surf Riders in pursuit of their second win in this competition. They've got a 1-3 record right now, and in pursuit of their second win against Strikers overall. They've got a 1-5 record against this team. A lot happening there. There was a little bit of tricky bounce for the keeper to deal with. Bye signaled by the umpire. Let's digest what just happened with the replay. Well, no replay, says Mr. Bala from the broadcasting booth. There is a couple of byes to the batting team. End of this 9th over. Reefer's got figures of none for 19 after his 2 overs. Surf Riders 78 for 2 after 9. Hot in pursuit of an imposing 200 plus target. The required rate 12.73. It's still not in the realm of impossible. It is still imposing. But with these two set batters in the middle, the Surf Riders believe there's a fair bit of chirp and volume and encouragement from the dugout. Patel's inside of a half century. Nandula has found some momentum in the last couple of overs. Lots of adjustments in the field for the spin of Shehan Jayasuriya as he's about to bowl his second off-spin over around the wicket to Patel. Patel goes back and punches this towards the bowler. This time driven down towards the whitish mid-off fieldsman in the ring. A couple of dot balls. A couple of handy dot balls by Jayasuriya. Will that lead to a little bit of impatience from the batter? Push towards square leg. They are thinking of the second run, but deep mid-wicket runs into the ring to field that. Big booming sweep shot towards the deep square leg region. There's a man running to his right, but it is in vain. Enterprising stroke play from Nandula. That was bowled around about a leg stump. He got down low and swept it with fast hands. He got a 6 and a 4 of the previous reefer over and now a 4 against the spin of Jayasuriya. Nandula is making his bold moves in the middle stage here as we lead into the halfway mark. He's got 25 of 17. Again on the pads, this time worked away towards deep square leg for only a single this time. These two batters joined forces when they were 14 for 2 after a couple of early Netravalkar strikes. Since then, they've piled on 70 runs. It is already a formidable partnership, but they would want more. Worked away towards mid-wicket this time for a quiet single. That is the end of the 10th over. 7 runs of Jayasuriya's second over. He's got figures of none for 15 after 2 overs. Surf Riders 85 for 2 at the halfway mark. As we speak, the partnership between these two batters, 71 from 46 balls. That has been the heartbeat of this chase. The Surf Riders are alive and kicking in pursuit of an imposing total. Contributions 21 of 14 from Nandula and 47 from 32 from Snell Patel. It's rained boundaries for most of these last 6 or 7 overs. Primarily from Patel for the initial part of the partnership and more from the bat of Nandula in the last couple of overs. We take a bit of a breather as players grab a mid-innings drink. We'll see our viewers in a couple of minutes. Good. Welcome back, folks. Pace from the far end. Inside edge from Patel. The batters scramble across for a single. Patel opening the bowling after the break. That is Patel to Patel. Naman Patel has figures of 4 for 85 across his T20 games. This time guided towards the point region by Nandula. Quick single by the batters. This promises to be a frenetic phase in the chase. Surf Riders have 8 wickets in the bank. They need an imposing 131 runs of 9.4 overs at 13.5. But they've got 2 confident batters in the middle right now who will look to take on the bowling. Bashed into the covers but stays in the infield. A single again. Singles are okay for the fielding unit. This time worked away towards the mid-wicket region by Nandula. It might be a couple of runs. It is only 1 as deep mid-wicket runs in. 4 singles of Patel's 4 balls so far. This time slapped with a fair bit of authority by Snell Patel down the ground. They still don't have time for 2 runs. A tumbling stop by the long-off fieldsman hustling to his right. 5 singles on the bounce. It's been a quiet over from Patel so far. Patel to Nandula. Nandula goes down the ground and he's aerial. Long off runs to his right but in vain as it seems to have bounced once or twice before it made the boundary. A much needed boundary for the chasing unit. 9 runs of Patel's first over. Surf Riders 94 for 2 after 11. That was slanted across the right-handed Nandula. He launched it up and over. That is his first boundary down the ground. His previous runs were scored square of the wicket. More spin from the near end in the form of Pranay Suri. He replaces Jayasuriya. He's going to bowl diagonally from around the wicket to the right-hander. Oh, that is a valiant attempt from the man running across from sweeper cover. He had to make a few yards and dive forwards. He got 2 hands to the ball, but unfortunately it bobbled out. Lots of applause in the dugout as Snell Patel brings up a buoyant half-century, 50 of 35 balls. He's kept the Surf Riders in the hunt of this mammoth chase as Suri continues to bowl diagonal around the wicket. Attempted glide towards point, no contact. Every dot is precious for the bowling fielding unit. Sim Patel goes down low and sweeps it fiercely through square leg for yet another boundary. Snell Patel moves to 56 of 38 balls with a whopping 10 boundaries. His strike rate north of 140. This is his highest score, topping his previous 48. This time bashed towards long on. The batters think about settling with a safe single. This time Nandula steers that towards point. There is a man right at the edge of the ring to reel that in. It is a dot. Singles and dots are okay from a striker's standpoint. Even a single sends a run rate inching upwards. The current rate 8.5, the required rate 14.3 as Nandula slices that towards the third man region. Tumbling stop. Tidy bit of fielding there. That is a 7 or 8 run over by Pranay Suri. Tidy start in the context of the game. Surf Riders 1 or 2 for 2 after 12 overs. The required rate exactly 14.5. 116 of the remaining 8 overs. The Surf Riders will need a tsunami of runs in the remaining 8 overs to reel this target in. They have 2 form batters in the middle. The partnership upwards of 75. In fact, it's 88 if my math is right. This will be the highest target chased at this ground at this tournament so far by a fair distance as Patel continues to bowl from the far end. That is a slap towards the wideish long on fieldsman for a single. Nandula moves to 33 from 23 with that single. 34 from 24, correction. Patel to Patel. Nice sound off the bat as he thwacked it down the ground, but it's going to be only a couple of runs as there's a tumbling stop by the long off fieldsman. Despite the steady trickle of runs, the striker's not too ruffled yet. The required rate close to 15. They've got lots of runs in the bank to play with. Patel slams this one down the ground with more authority. This time it is a boundary. He surges to 63 with that 4. Using the width on the occasion to slap that over the bowler's head. This time a push towards the cover for a single. 8 runs of this over so far. With the required run rate close to 15 an over, Surf Riders need at least a couple of boundaries every over to keep them in the frame. Patel goes aerial. Mid-wicket runs to his left as he watches it sail over his head and through the trees for a mighty 6. Much needed 6 for Surf Riders. Nandula with more muscle. He moves to 40 of 25. A little bit shorter on the occasion from Patel, allowing Nandula to go back and slam it towards mid-wicket. He's accessed different areas of the field so far. He got a streaky boundary early on in his innings behind the keeper, then unfurled some shots towards square leg, found a boundary down the ground a couple of overs ago, and this time pilfering the mid-wicket region for a mighty, much-needed 6. The current run rate ekes past the 9-run mark. On the pads, Nandula obliges with a deflection. That is 4 through fine leg. A lot of applause at the Surf Riders dugout as the boundaries keep coming. 18 runs of Patel's second over, none for 27 after 2 are his figures as Surf Riders jump to 120 for 2. Hope springs anew in the dugout. This is a monstrous total that is being pursued by Surf Riders, but is a monstrous partnership that is building as we speak. The partnership has already breached the 100-run mark. This has been a tremendous productive association by these two right-handers. Patel 64 of 42. Nandula 44 of 26. The split in the partnership 64 against 39, but Surf Riders won't care as long as both batters are in the middle and continue to pilfer these boundaries. More diagonal off spin from Pranay Suri as he continues to bowl around the wicket from the near end. Patel's on strike. The required run rate an exact 14 runs an over. He goes back and punches this one towards cover point. It's stopped in the ring for a dot. Dots are absolutely precious for the fielding unit. Applause from the long off fieldsman for the tidy bit of fielding at point. This time lofted towards long off. Long off runs to his left. Fields on the bounce. Calls for 2 from the dugout, but it's only going to be a single. Lots of chirps and encouragement and belief from the dugout. 97 of 40 balls is the ask. It is the mighty ask, but is still not impossible. Will Nandula try to take Suri downtown? Yes, he does, but square leg has a little bit of say. He stops it. It's only a single. That was hit towards the left of the deep square leg fieldsman. Sweep shot from Patel in the gap, 4 again. The boundaries keep flowing off the bat of Patel. He moves to 69 of 45 with that strong sweep shot, going down low and punishing Suri. Suri's been tidy so far, 14 from 10 balls, 14 from 1.4 overs, which is pretty tidy in the context of the game. Patel jumps down the ground, goes down the ground. Yusuf Zazai runs across to keep the batters to a single. Tidy throw back to the bowler. Good cricket all round. Proactive footwork from the batter. Tidy fielding from the long off fieldsman. Seven runs off the over so far. Despite the boundary, it is still only half of the required rate of 14.7. Attempted sweep by Nandula trickles towards short fine leg for a run. Is it leg by? It is leg bys. The batter says it's off the edge, but the umpire's call stands. 8 runs off Suri's second over, none for 15 after 2. He's doing a decent controlling job in the middle stage of the chase as we march towards the death phase. 6 overs to go, 90 runs needed, 15 an over. Everything to play for both sides. back in from the far end for his last over, starting around the wicket to Nandula. Bowled full, driven over the bowler's head. Long off runs to his right on the bounce. A single. Patel found a couple of boundaries of Netrwalkar in the power plays, which was quite a while ago. Can he find a couple of more boundaries in this critical over? Attempted drive beats the bat. Dots are gold dust for the fielding unit. Each dot piles the pressure on, sends the required rate careening northwards. 15.7 as we speak. The ground continues to get buffeted by this strong breeze blowing across from third man to mid-wicket. Bowled full outside off stump, guided by the batter towards deep point for one. Accurate bowling by Netrwalkar. Just 2 runs the first 3 balls. Netrwalkar operating with a 5-4 field, 5 on the offside. Long off, deep point and sweeper cover in place. Nandula goes down the ground, but long off is in the frame again. It's only going to be a single. And Nandula moved a little across towards the offside, got a slightly foolish offering and lofted it towards long off. This has been a pretty tight over by Netrwalkar. 3 singles and a dot. Again speared in, foolish, just a little outside off stump, dug out towards the short cover fieldsman for a single. This is expert bowling by Saurabh Netrwalkar, keeping the batters on a leash. The combination of high pace and the foolish length cramping the batter. Patel goes across and fetches this one towards the long on region, goes to the fielder on the bounce. Yet another single. A very, very tidy Netrwalkar over. He completes his 4, 2 for 26 as Surf Riders 133 for 2. The equation 85 from 5. The required rate exactly 17 runs an over. Yusuf Zazai, the 24-year-old fast man from Patkia, Afghanistan, back into the attack. He's been a challenging proposition for batters across teams this tournament. Zazai to Nandula. Lofted drive. Skipper Reefer runs across to his left to keep the batters in check. That is only a single. Zazai operating with a 5-4 field. A long off and sweeper cover in place in the deep on the offside. And a ring of 3 fielders between long on and deep square leg. The required rate is close to 17.5 runs an over, which means the batters need at least 3 boundaries every over. It is looking steep for the chasing unit. A change of pace attempted by Zazai goes down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. Lofted through the covers. Sweeper cover runs to his left and makes a tumbling attempt. It is in vain. A much needed boundary for Patel. That is his 13th 4 as he surges to 76 of 50 balls. That was bowled full roundabout off stump. Patel giving himself just a wee bit of room to carve that over the covers. The Surf Riders riding strong on a strong partnership, but they need the floodgates to open and open immediately. A little mini conference between Skipper Reefer and the bowler Zazai. Again, a slower delivery, again down the leg side, second wide of the over. The Surf Riders clapping every extra run that comes their way. Zazai's been very canny with mixing his lengths up through this tournament, trying to change his pace up at this over. This time Fuller, open-faced, sliced through the fine slips region for a much-needed boundary. The boundaries keep flowing off Snell Patel's bat. That is his 14th boundary as he jumps to 80 of 51 balls. Up against an extremely challenging run rate, Patel continues to find the boundaries and keep his team in the frame. (74 of 27). Only 3 balls into this over. 11 runs of this over so far. Anticipate more proactive batting from Patel as we head towards the climactic stage of this chase. This time shorter on the back foot pull shot towards deep square leg for a single. Nandula on 49. He goes for a big swing towards the square leg region. It's going to be at least a couple of runs. It is a boundary, and it is Nandula's first half century in minor league cricket. 53 of 33. A valiant innings, keeping the chase afloat alongside the company of Snell Patel. That is 16 runs of Zazai's third over with a ball to go. A change in the field. Deep square leg has been reeled back into the ring as points been pushed back. Slam through the covers. Covers runs in to keep it to possibly a single. Good bit of cricket all round. That is bowled full and fast. Firm drive. Tidy fielding. The plot thickens as we head towards the last 4 overs. A very busy over for the batting unit. 3 fours, a couple of extras. Zazai's got figures of none for 33 of 3 overs. Surf Riders bring up their 150 with that single. 150 for 2 after 16 overs. 68 needed to reel in this imposing total. 4 overs in the bank, but 2 set dominant batters at the crease. It is an even game, folks. Skipper Reefer running in. Nandula slices that through third man. There is a man in the deep running in. They think about 2 but stick with a safe 1. Every ball needs to travel from the chasing team's perspective. Reefer's gone for none for 19 of his first 2 overs. He's got a job to do for his team right now, bowling left arm over from the far end. Patel's on 81 from 52 balls. Can he keep the broadsides coming? Dinked into the leg side for a single. Long on runs across to defend. Singles won't hurt the strikers at this stage. Nandula goes for a big slog down the ground. Long on runs to his left. Again a single. Efficient bowling by the striker's skipper. A little bit of stoppage as Snell Patel motions for a change of what looked like bat. Angled across the batters, sliced with an open face towards third man. Again a single. This is efficient bowling by the skipper. 4 singles on the bounce. The rate has careened towards 20 almost. back live. That is bowled wide of the tram lines, wide signal by the umpire. A few cheers from the dugout. This has been a very, very tidy over from skipper Reefers so far. He's kept it full, slanted across right-handers, eliciting a few drives towards long on for singles and one steer towards third man. Can he close his over out with a couple of quiet balls? Nandula goes with a big swing. The umpire obliges with the wide call again. 2 wides on the trot. It's a clear ploy from the bowler, trying to keep it outside the swing of the batter. A little bit of a discussion between the bowler and umpire, possibly because the batter's moving across before the ball's been delivered. The wide line tends to move with the batter. Nandula gets a good connection on that one. Deep point is in business again. It's only a single though. 5 singles of 5 legal deliveries. Efficient execution by the skipper despite the 2 wides. Wides are okay at this stage if the other balls are only going for singles. Last ball of the over coming up. Referred to Patel. Can Patel find a boundary? Wide again. Every wide is being met with a vociferous cheer from this Surf Riders dugout. They still believe. Within 60 of the target. 19 balls left. Can Patel hunt a boundary? Similar story again. Angled wide of the right-hander. Defeats the tram line. Wide again. That's the 4th wide in the over. This time straighter. Patel has a good connection. Long on runs to his right and sees it fly over the boundary for a mighty and much needed 6. Patel keeps taking the fight to the strikers bowling and fielding unit. 165 for 2 after 17 overs. Surf Riders alive and kicking. 3 overs to go. 53 runs needed for a tremendous chase. This partnership has breached the 150 mark. 151 as we speak. And more life yet. 4 wides, a 6 and 5 singles in the previous over. That is 15 runs of skipper Reefer's 3rd over. He's got figures of none for 34 after 3. There is a new batter in the middle because I think Nandula has retired. We have to confirm in a couple of seconds. Zazai about to bowl the 18th over. Figures of none for 33 after 3 overs. Speared in full, hit towards the offside. Sweeper runs to his right, but the ball wins the race. Beautiful connection by jersey number 45. We're going to ID him in a second. Abhinder Singh in at number 5. He needs to find more of those boundaries. Bowled into the wicket, attempted pull shot, defeats the pull shot. Good response by the quick. Replay of the previous boundary, the cover-driven boundary by Abhinder. Zazai loves to mix up his lengths. He's got a canny, shorter delivery which climbs on the batter and hurries up. Again, bashed into the track. A slowish bouncer, pull shot, top edge. Fine leg pouches it as Surf Riders slip to 169 for 4 in the pursuit of these quick, desperate runs. Singh departs for 4 of 3, one cover-driven 4. A swish through the offside with no contact and a top-edged pull, pouched at fine leg. Good bowling by Zazai using his pace and bounce to elicit an edge. Nandula was the batter who had retired hurt earlier, 57 of 37, retired out because there is no retired hurt allowed in the format anymore. Abhinay Reddy Vanipalli in at number 6. He has no time to get set. He has to go from ball 1, 49 from 15, the rate just south of 20 per over. Zazai takes his time. Bowled full, big swing, no contact. The keeper collects. Lots of applause for the fast bowler. He's operating with a 5-4 field. Every man in the ring, at the edge of the ring, every man in the deep on the fence. Strikers wouldn't care much about singles or twos at this stage. They want to keep the boundaries in. Big swing by Vanipalli again, beats the bat and the keeper, unfortunately for the bowler. Short third man runs back and tumbles. It is a couple of useful runs for the batting side. In the context of the required rate, not too much damage for the strikers. Good bowling by Zazai. Again, pacey offerings full. He's mixing up lengths, mixing up pace. This time Fuller punched towards long on for a single. Extremely tidy offer from the bowler. That completes a very, very handy over by Zazai. He's got figures of 1 for 38 after 4 of his overs. Just 7 runs off the 18th over, including those 2 byes. Surf Riders need 46 of the last 12 balls. Refer to Vanipalli. Vanipalli goes aerial through the third man region. It trickles towards the deep third man fielder. They have only time for a single. .45 from 11. It is almost in the realm of impossible for the chasing team at the moment. Can Patil find some more monstrous hits? Refer to Patil. Wide the tram lines, wide again. .44 from 11 balls is the ask. Patil 11 runs away from 100. Full toss, carved over third man for a boundary. Patil moves into the 90s with that edge boundary. 93 of 56. 40 runs of just 10 balls is the ask. That is actually a controlled slice by Patil over third man. There's a deep point. The third man was vacant. It was placed well. Patil goes across into the leg side. This is a mighty boundary through the mid-wicket region. He moves to 97 with that fabulous boundary. 97 of 57 consecutive boundaries. 36 from 9 balls is the ask. It is an onerous ask, but Patil is not giving up. This time a big swing. It finds a nick. The keeper takes. The skipper Reefer celebrates with a big fist pump. Celebrations all around for strikers as the danger man departs for a tremendous innings. Snell Patil departs for 97 of 58 balls. It's been a thunderous innings, giving Surf Riders hope in pursuit of a monster chase. Tremendous applause for the departing batter as Snell Patil walks into his dugout. 97 of 58 balls, 16 fours and a 6, striking at 167. Shehan Fernando replaces Patil at number 7. .36 of 8 balls needed. Can Fernando find some sixes right off the bat? Big booming square drive. Beats deep point for a handy boundary. The 32-year-old from Colombo, Sri Lanka opens his account immediately with a glorious square drive. 32 from 7 balls. The Surf Riders are still giving themselves a whisker of a chance of this never-ending chase. 186 for 5 after 18.5. This has been one hell of an afternoon. Two sides not yielding. Ken Shehan closes over out with another boundary. This time bowled straighter. Punched back towards the bowler for a very handy dot ball. Skipper Reefer figures of 1 for 48 of his 4 overs, getting rid of the main man in his final over, which means we have 32 runs off the last 6 balls. It is almost mission impossible, especially with a couple of new batters in the middle. Naman Patel about to bowl the last over. He's got plenty of runs to play with. Fiercely struck square of the wicket on the offside. Sweeper cover intercepts for a single. Singles won't do the job for Surf Riders at this stage. 31 from 5. Fernando back on strike. We are inching towards the territory of mathematical impossibility. Can Fernando find a 6 at this stage to keep it just alive? Guided towards the long off region, Skipper Reefer jogs to his left and a few yards forwards to defend just a single. Strikers close in on the win. 30 from 4 balls. A very handy dot by Patil. .30 from 3. The game is all but cooked at this stage. This is comfortably the highest second innings score at this ground over these 4 days. Big swing by Vanipalli, no contact. Patel bagging a couple of handy dot balls at the all-important 20th over. He's got figures of none for 29 from his 2.4. Can he close this innings out with a wicket? This time punch back towards the bowler. Again a dot, a hat-trick of dot balls. A little bit of an anticlimactic finish there. 3 dots on the bounce. 1 more ball to go to the close. Strikers moments away from their 3rd win of this tournament. Before the start of this game, 4 teams were tied at 2 wins apiece. Strikers would definitely move up that list of teams after this victory that's struck down the ground. Skipper Reefer runs across to his right to field. It is a single to finish a valiant chase by the San Diego Surf Riders. They finish with 189 for 5 in their quota of 20 overs, but in the end, Strikers winning by a handsome margin, a win by 28 runs. The collective batting arsenal of Strikers taking them to a victory. third win out of 4 games for strikers right here at Tariqa. Surf Riders 1 win, 4 defeats with their Bay Area outing so far. It has been a weekend of intense cricket here at Tariqa and elsewhere. Patel does an efficient job of closing out the defense. Just 3 runs off his last over. He's got figures of none for 30 of 3 overs. Vanipalli finishes with an unbeaten 4. Fernando an unbeaten 5 from 3 balls. This has been a pulsating afternoon. Strikers won the toss earlier in the afternoon and chose to bat first and posted an imposing 220-ish. San Diego Surf Riders extremely valiant in their response. Snell Patel, number 4, 97 of 58 runs, replete with 15 plus boundaries and a couple of sixes. He kept the chase alive for the majority of this chase. He departed a couple of overs ago, caught behind off the skipper. Vijayram Nandula contributing handsomely at the top order, 57 from 37, his first half century at minor league cricket. Eventually, though, the required rate adjusts a little too much for the Surf Riders batting. Handshakes being exchanged by the players. Let's take a look at the bowling scorecard. One for 48 from skipper Reefer, 2 for 26 from the accurate and pacey Nitrawalkar up top. Sazai Pacey as always 1 for 38 of his 4 overs. Just 1 over from Kamran Hotek today. Shehan Jayasuriya with some variety, some off spin, 2 overs, none for 15. Naman Patel bowling that important over at the death, none for 30. Pranay Suri with some diagonal off spin as well, none for 15. Surf Riders finished the weekend with a win and 4 defeats. Strikers have 3 wins and 1 defeat. They have 4 wins and 1 defeat here at Tariqa, here at their home ground. This has been a strong venue for the Strikers side. Moments away from close here. Match summary. Strikers won the toss and posted an imposing 217 for 4. They were held afloat by Arepalli with a very handsome 73 of 52 balls, and with a lot of support from Tarun Sai Adara, 34 from 23 balls. In the late stage of the innings, skipper Ray Reefer exploded with a whole bunch of sixes, 61 from 21, using his power and muscle. 1 for quite a few bowlers from the Surf Riders. In pursuit, Patel, the highlight, 97 of 58, and Nandula, 57 of 37. In the end, Strikers bagged the win by 28 runs. It has been an intense weekend of cricket, an entertaining weekend of cricket here at Tariqa. It's been a 4-day long weekend of cricket here. We appreciate all of our viewers on the stream across the Bay Area and the US and in other regions of the world. We want to thank all the teams and the players for serving up some entertaining world-class cricket. We thank the ground staff here at Tariqa, Rafael and team, for putting up a pretty sporting cricketing wicket which served us some delicious cricket. Thank you to our broadcasting folks here, Bala and Bibu, who've been manning the cameras on a pretty blustery, bright, hot venue. This is your commentator, Hari Venkatramani, signing off. Once again, thank you folks for joining us. We hope to see you at the forthcoming weekends for more minor league cricket. Have a nice day wherever you are, and good night.